Hello everybody, it's vanburman here. Welcome to another Steam Deck dossier, and apologies for the croakiness in my voice. I'm just recovering from a cold. So yeah, that'll explain that. Yeah, I just wanted to do a video since I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy for quite a bit now, to be honest. And I've got to say, most of it's been on the Steam Deck because I've been away quite a bit, so it does help. So I just wanted to go through some of the settings and stuff and how I've been finding it, I guess, throughout. So I didn't actually realise it was rendering at such a low resolution. I've actually found it fine, but I was trying to get the sort of nice balance between good frame rate. I wanted to get 60, close to as possible, and also, you know, decent enough graphics. So, like I say, we've got the FSR 2 balanced preset, which seems to, like I say, it seems to work pretty well. I'm going to go through some stuff. I'll just explain some other bits as we go through. And everything's on low. I don't think you'd realistically get anything over that anyway. I actually haven't ran the benchmark before, so should I do that now? Go on then. Oh, okay. I thought it was an actual proper benchmark. I don't want you to apply them. You know what? We will do. Well, we'll do that in this video to make it a bit longer, but we'll also show my one first. So yeah, so I have had a play around, and I settled on FSR2 being the resolution. So it's not the prettiest game like this, especially compared to playing it on the actual PC. But it's not bad. It tends to run pretty well. I'm trying to think where a good place to go is. Like Hogsmeade is pretty like struggles sometimes there, just because there's a lot going on. Like some bits don't really matter, like on the world map and things like that. If you dip below 30 or whatever, it's not such a big deal. I have got it set to 720p as well. I just prefer that generally for when you're on the Steam Deck screen, because then you can have the bar at the top in like a little black band, for the battery and everything else, which I generally tend to think is pretty good. So actually, yes, I'm not getting anywhere near 60 in Hogsmeade. It's pretty, like, probably one of the more active areas in terms of NPCs and buildings and that kind of thing. It does maintain over 60, and it feels okay. Feels like a little bit sluggish compared to, particularly when you're in other areas. Some parts of Hogwarts is actually pretty tough as well. But generally, if you're flying around with a broomstick, which is what I'm going to do, because I don't actually know what I get with that. The main drawback on here, I would say, or the thing that really affects you, is when you're battling. When you're doing wizard battles. I don't know. When you're in combat, that's what I should have said, shouldn't I? Hopefully I don't die if I go in the water. No, we're fine. I'm just trying to get somewhere I can. There we go. I can get on the broom now. But stuff even on low, like, it's surprisingly good. And I was a bit concerned that it might bother me a little bit. Oh, okay. There isn't enough space. Oh, there should be now. That I might be more bothered by the fact that from having started to play it on the PC, I might be bothered by getting it on the Steam Deck and it not being as nice. But because it's a handheld and because the resolution's so small, you can get away with so much. So yeah, we don't hit 60 on the broom with lots of low res and whatever else. But I've got to say, with it being over 30 is pretty good. The bit I was going to say, yes, combat. So combat is, and I don't know if I can even get into combat. I might have to find somewhere to be able to do that. But yeah, that's generally where it tends to lag down, particularly where you've got quite a few enemies, and you're trying to do the ancient magic and that sort of stuff, and barrels, exploding barrels, and throwable objects, that sort of stuff. It does take a bit of a bashing on the FPS, and I think then drops below 30 when you're doing combat. is the most egregious part of it. And looking at my settings, I didn't realise they were quite that low, but it's what do you sacrifice, I guess, next. Might be good, though, to try out the recommended settings. I've not done that yet. Like I said, I didn't realise there was a benchmark. So, but the main reason, or the main issue for that is purely because, then let's apply it, see what it says that's different. It might well just be the same as the one I've already got. Oh, it is. Huh. Okay, well, fair enough. Yeah, I'd be reticent to drop that resolution down any further. As you can see, there's quite a lot of aliasing, which we can see a bit more obviously. Oh, defeat the enemies however I choose. Okay. Incendio. Oh, I'm not used to. I'm trying to play on a controller at the minute, so not really used to this kind of combat. But there you go. And actually, that battle made me a little bit of a liar because that was fine.
Shame you're so foul.
But it was just a couple of spiders there, not really a huge complex environment as well. But yeah, overall, I would say other than some of the issues with a bit of slowdown during combat, it's generally pretty good. I've been pretty impressed with how good it is on the Steam Deck. There have been quite a few updates as well since it first came out. There's one recently, about a week ago, that's really helped performance. Sorry, apologies. So if you come into this having tried it on the Steam Deck when it first came out, there should be some improvements since then. The battery life is pretty poor for this game. I find myself having to, like I say, it's been one where I've played it the most. I do find myself having to charge up the battery a lot more than I have with basically any other game. I think this is probably because it's one of the more like AAA games, I guess, that I've played on here. So, yeah. And I think that's about it. Hopefully I covered everything I usually cover. I don't know. I can't remember. But, yeah, it's one of those where you could set it to 30. That's one of the things I've done trying to save some battery life is to limit the frame rate in the settings. That's not the one I want. I actually don't know where I would get to that with this controller. So maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But yeah, either, set it to 30, or you could even sort of aim for 30 in the game settings, because clearly we're in between the 30 to 60 mark. It just depends on, like I say, you want to be wary of those, any sort of drops below or into the 20s, particularly at combat. I mean, could we go FSR quality? That does, I guess, is up quite. I wonder what resolution we get ultra performance. 34%. Oh my goodness. Tell you what, let's have a look. Oof, it's rough. It's even rougher than before. But once again, not even, apologies, not even 60 still. So yeah, 60 is, a constant 60 is definitely beyond it. But like I say, a bit of tweaking, I think. And, you might find something that's a bit more preferable, maybe like medium textures, FSR quality. Still very low. Like I say, it looks pretty good on the Steam Deck itself. That's a lot better. A bit nicer. So yeah, maybe that might be the way to go. I'm going to tell you how to do it, but yeah, it's good enough. And like I say, I'm pretty impressed with it being on the Steam Deck. I've rambled on far too long, but it is verified as well. So, and it has been verified since it first came out. So this isn't really too much of an issue, just for me to, basically show you how I've been finding the game. It's, yeah, nothing more I can say. Just, if you are going to play it on here, expect to charge up your Steam Deck quite a lot, unless you're willing to pay it at 30 FPS. I think you get like the 2.5 hours running the game maxed out ish, and then up to sort of 4 with about 30. So yeah, just one of those. I've done quite a bit on here actually. I think I'm like 15 hours in. Like good majority of the field guide stuff. I'm not very far through the main story, I don't think, as of yet, but pretty high level. I would say that the racing on the brooms is perhaps been the most, aside from combat, the most fiddliest bit. I'm not sure though. That's just because you're using a controller on the Steam Deck rather than mouse and keyboard, which it may well be. Oh, nice pop in there. But yeah, if you're willing to suspend belief a little bit and put up with some pretty shoddy draw distance, then yeah, it can be a good enough experience for Hogwarts Legacy on the Steam Deck. Any questions at all? Do let me know in the comments below. And there's just so many really good games out at the minute, and sort of finding it difficult to get back into Hogwarts Legacy now because there's quite a few other games that I want to try out, like Wolong and Wild Hearts, 2 games that I have installed but I haven't had a chance to play yet. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.